Hi guys, I am How About a Wheat, otherwise known as Wheat, from the Immoral Thieves, and this is the war we get from our weekend war with Midwinters, who are a CWL invite clan, as are we. So, as you've noticed, most of our wars are now at the 40v40, as this was, with a quite heavy breakdown of 5-11s, 15-10s, and 20-9s. We got 3 10-on-10 triples, they got 1. We went 7 for 9 on 11v10, they went 2 for 6, we got an 11-on-11 triple, they went 0 for 4 on 11v11 2 to 3 star attempts. Like, a couple of them were 3 star attempts, I think, but at that point the war was over, I think, from their point of view. So as you can see, let's just have a quick look at the map. They had quite a lot of trouble on our 11s from the 10v11 point of view, so that meant they didn't have as many attempts at 10v10s, and their 11s had to hit the 11s as well. So there was the 2 of our 11s there weren't even 2-starred, and there's one of our 10s wasn't 2-starred. Obviously they cleared all the 9s. They're quite convincing, actually. The 2-starred all the 11s, apart from the top 11, which was 1-starred, and then because the war was won, we allowed Chris a shot at an 11v11, which he got. So we'll watch that attack. And we got 10v10s on 18, 19, 20, their 3 lowest bases, and we had quite a lot of attempts, especially on in base 9, which we eventually just hit with an 11. But from our point of view, we're happy with the win. I think they could have got more, especially 10v10. We had quite a lot of chances. We just didn't execute it as well. But anyway, let's watch these replays. I've got the 11v11, some of the 10v10s, and some 9s to show. So let's show Chris going in on the top 11, Sebastian. So he brings a heavy loon, which is his speciality. He was doing this on voice as well, and we're pretty convinced he didn't watch the replay because he just dropped that wizard straight into the Tesla. But I think he's in the king comes up clutch. Essentially, the golem and a few bowlers and the king and his queen are trying to get the queen and air defense and anything else they can get, really, like any of the defenses. And the king goes round and pulls the CC out, which is a mix of everything. There's barbs, archers, some Val, some witch, but and they got the 2 components which were essential, which was the queen and the 1 air defense. So he's got quite a good in the pathing here. As you watch, he has the air warden on, and so he's got 1 raise, 3 haste, 1 heal, 1 freeze left. There's and the witch left up. And here's another example of why he didn't watch the replay, because he didn't realise that Tesla was there either. It works out. So he uses his warden, 2 hounds left coming over. He's got some loons at the back end there. This large set of loons come through. He's already used the warden ability, but they just have enough just to push through. He's still got another haste, which hastes these other loons, which have just joined in the party now. You can see gets through to the Archer Towers and the Wiz Tower. It certainly helped that this base had grounded expos. I think that's important to notice. But yeah, 11v11 triple. From our point of view, we're really happy with that. And let's watch this on fast forward. There we go. Nice job, Chris. So we won't watch any of the 11v10 action, but we will watch the 10v10. So first one was my hit on Moi, which I don't know if he runs that account now, if that's the same guy or if he sold it, but anyway. So this was a fresh hit 10v10. Using the attack I've been using quite a lot recently. I adapted it a bit on this one. I wanted to make sure that mortar was down, but this is the go rich attack, and and it worked out I could use a single bowler to get that mortar down as well. So quite good value trades of 1 loon and 1 bowler for 2 mortars. So yeah, here comes the witches on one corner, witches on the other corner. There's a troll Tesla there, which we weren't aware of. I only just dropped those bowlers in time just to, so I didn't actually lose a witch, but one of them is really low health. And one of the golems walks, which at times helps in this attack. Or is this an attack where it circles around? Anyway, it might walk, it might circle around, we'll see. But the good news is that you can see that the king triggered the giant bombs, and a lot of the bowlers have survived. He doesn't have a Hound Loon CC, so the 2 poisons straight on the top of that, and the queen and the wizards just take care of it. The king at this point is doing taking. So the golem here, he's on the outside and he's not too sure what to do, but he's going to come through and do a bit of tanking. But at this point, I was doing this on voice with quite a lot of the guys, and they're quite late at night for me. And at this point, I realised I had a pretty good chance of getting this because I knew the queen was eventually going to get to that inferno, and I realised I had a large amount of witches on one corner and the witches on the other side. And by using the queen's ability, she just rolled through, and the latent golem just came up and did a load of tanking. So at this point, I don't think I've lost a witch. I think I might have lost just one up north, but the other 3 down south have done their jobs. Loads of guys running around, queen still up, golem still up, and that is a base wrecked in under 2 minutes. 10v10 on a fresh hit. And know what you say, it's not a Lalo, but it's damn effective on the right base. And over time, I've realised what's a right base. So yeah, in our plans, I basically got a free license to choose a base I like and go for it essentially. And if it works, it's pretty effective. So yeah, here we go. This is Joey on Oblique. He got this quite early on in war as well. This was within the first 2 hours because we hit it with a 9, hit it with Cascazilla, and then the Joey came and cleaned it up after working out how to get his queen in there. It was the first time his wallbreak has failed, but he then gets her in, and she does a great job. So essentially, this is a king and a queen and a few wall breakers, a few funneling troops, maybe a wizard I think he used to get. What has he got there? Air defense, Tesla, Inferno, Wiz Tower. Pretty good value. It brings his Lalo, probably about 28 loons, and he's raging over the top of the queen. Doesn't actually have to drop these skeleton spells because the loons drop straight on top of her with the rage. As you can see, this is just massive overkill. He's still got 2 hounds still up. They're about a pop now. More loons on the back end, but there's just a swathe of loons coming in. Another rage there. Or is that a haste? And he manages to swag 2 heals and 2 skeleton spells on a 10v10. And there's the swags. Although you could say he used them to kill the king, but they were swags. He hound pops, but that's not important. Great hit, Joey. Next one is Jeffrey, which is Chris. And yeah, this was their lowest base. I hit this with my 9 as the scout, and then I think this was the next hit. I don't think another 10 hit it. So essentially, this is a fresh 10v10, but after a Town Hall 9, it hit it first. Again, it's using a very similar attack to what Joey just did, using a few troops for a funnel, and then a king and a queen, a few warbreaks to break in to try and get an air defense, any other defenses, Inferno. And that's what he does. So the king goes wild, taking out stuff. Queen comes in, locks onto the elixir storage, and then comes around, locks onto another elixir storage. Not ideal, but she manages to get that mortar on the outside, which will help for the pathing for the loons. So actually, it won't make any difference. What am I talking about? he's La-looning on from the other side. You can see here, over the top, again over the top of the queen, and he dropped a skeleton spell right on her. I think it kills her. Yeah, it did. Only just though, because he actually had a king over there, but he did just enough. But with the heal, the only thing left now is the Expo and the Archer Tower, and he's got 10 plus loons left. And that is that. Another 10v10. Next attack, Chris. Bang. So, onto the Town Hall 9 action. This first attack, I love. And Trina got a 6-pack with this, and this is a witch attack at Town Hall 9. Don't often see it, but he's been using it pretty damn successfully. Drops his golem in this corner to aim at these Teslas. I can't remember if this was a fresh hit, it might have been. If not, he was aware of that there and they came in, but the Gondors overtanking, the witches and the wizards come in. So this is an old school Go Wee Wee with CC bowlers, I presume. So essentially it works in a very similar attack to what the My 10 on 10 and the Go Bitch works. When you want a group of witches, and in this case wizards, going down in both of the sides, essentially doing a lot of funneling, so the centre troop can just go straight down the core with 2 to 3 jumps and with rages. And I don't know why he brought a skeleton spell. It's a bit odd, but anyway, must have worked. Okay, he wanted it just to work on the queen to distract her, which worked. Okay, yeah. If he doesn't have anything else, the bowlers just about survived there to the giant bomb. They're quite fortunate that Golem's doing tanking, so they can come round and then they wrap around. The queen here was really, really smart. She broke through a corner section of a wall, so that opened that all up. So with the ability, she's able to come round, and the only thing left is an Archer Tower. And as you can see, he's got witches on the side, and everything, and they're coming for the centre with him, 2 witches. So he uses 8 witches in this. In the 10 on 10 attack, he would have been much more bowler heavy to utilise their damage, which they do on the splash damage, on the extra bounce damage, just like they're doing there on that storage. Great attack, Trina. Next one is 30, which is Wong, Chicken Little. And this was a really good attack. I really like the wall breakers here. If anyone has ever watched any of my old Camcore days or watched me do anything live, you'll know that I hate wall breakers. They just do not work for me. But he managed to break into 2 layers of walls here. Believe me, if this was me doing that, that would not happen. There's not a chance that would happen. But anybody goes straight through. King and the Golem goes straight through the centre. So essentially he's got a poison, and is he going to jump? No. Poison for the CC and the king, and what he wants to get as far as possible to get that air defense down, and ideally the queen. He's got a skeleton spell, but I don't think he uses it on the queen. I think he brought it just in case he didn't get as far as what he did, but actually the queen comes up clutch here, because she now is going to lock onto the enemy queen and take her out using the ability. Bang. So he's now got a skeleton spell to help him with his Lalo to do some distraction, and his attacking queen actually hasn't died, so she's going to survive for most of the way, because all those defenses are going to die now as the loons come in. So he brings his Lalo, haste, rage, and heals. And he's dropped his skeleton spell in the core there. You can see him just working on the Expo and the Wiz Tower. Aren't doing a tremendous amount of damage, but are doing lots of distraction work to allow these loons just to come in and just swarm over the remaining defences. He has got 5 loons left, which he's not even used, which I can't remember if he swags or if he just uses them to clean up, but I think he just swags them, to be perfectly honest. No, there they are. Yeah, base utterly wrecked. And last but not least, set up a set getting took down by Thief. And AQ Walk, Lalo, uses the king for some funneling again. Recently, we've tried to get our guys away from using AQ Walks on 909 attacks, which you don't really use. You don't need them really. There's easier attacks you can do. They just overcomplicate things sometimes, and a lot can go wrong. But he actually uses this really well. Manages to break into this compartment there. Nice little test wall breaker, then drops in 3 more. The king lures a CC. I'm not too sure if that was intentional, but probably actually, yeah, because he was probably aware the king was going to go there. But with the rage for the queen, in anticipation of winning the queen, so she's now going to be on 2 3-point defences and a CC and the queen, so she has to use the ability under rage and eventually gets the baby dragon down. It's looked to her. Her health actually goes quite low when that baby dragon locked onto her. Drops another rage now, I'm sure, because she's still got 2-point defences on her. And he's going down, but there we go. Gets rid of an air sweeper, that's important, and an expo, again important because he's Laloing. And here comes his balloons, and we kind of mistimes those second balloons because they go to the mortar, or the cannon, is that? It's a cannon, rather than to that whiz tower, but it works out. Using their haste to haste them onto it, haste on to get to the air defences there. So this large pack is coming round. Haste now on there. The sweeper's been a bit of a pain, but it's not going to make that much of a difference really. Some other loons are going to be sneaking up on this sweeper anyway. You can just see them coming in from the angle. And some more. Comes into the Tesla farm. He's got 10 plus loons left. Queen's still up, full health. 1 loon for cleanup. Quite a lot of pups coming around. He has got some air skeletons doing him some hassle, but not really. And there we go. That is that. So from our point of view, and they're really happy with the result of the war. We weren't immensely impressed with how we played. Certainly they could have done better. In the Midwinters, I'm sure again we'll probably say they had an off war. So I hope they can they get back on it for the second season of Impact League. So here's the breakdown. We got 31 free stars. They got 23. And yeah. In other news, we Immoral Thieves with a guy from War and Glory we just won the first round of the 5-on-5 tournament we've entered against Dark Looters. So Dark Looters have taken a loss. So I'll probably do a quick recap of that as well. But yeah, that was exciting. I got another 10-on-10 in that war, so I'm pretty happy. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Bye bye.